I'm here. The iPhone XS and the iPhone XsMax has just been confirmed, and it's one more. It's one more. iPhone XR, which I haven't said, but we're just gonna focus on the iPhone XS for right now. Is there really a huge difference between the iPhone XS and the iPhone X? The iPhone XS has the capacity between 64 gigs, 256 gigs, and 512 gigs. The higher the gigs, the more you're going to be paying for. The less the gigs, the less you're paying for the iPhone. Size of the iPhone X, 5.65 inches. Width is 279 inches. Depth, 0.30 inches. Weight, 624 ounces. That's if you really care about the weight of the phone. And now for the XsMax. I'm just going to call it the XsMax. I know it's like the XsMax X, something like that. It's 620 inches. Height, 3.05 inches width-wise and 0.30 inches in depth. It weighs approximately 7.34 ounces. The display for the iPhone XS is 5.8. Like, just to the guys, if you guys don't know, it's like this. We're measuring it this way, so it's like this way from the screen, I should say. 5.8 inches there. For the XS is 6.5 inches. The iPhone XS comes with an HDR display. They both actually come with an HDR display. The pixel resolution, I'm not saying that. 3D Touch is still in the iPhone X if you guys were fans of that. It's a wide color display if you're into that. Here's the interesting part that I really like about this iPhone thing. So to throw everything away, the fingerprint scanner is gone. No more fingerprint. Fingerprint isn't a thing on this iPhone XS, the XsMax, or even the XR. They have fully adapted to the face print now. It's like, I feel like their conversation was like, hey, why don't we just take out the fingerprint and let's just make a face? But do you think people would really like that? I mean, some people actually like the fingerprint in order to pay for things in the Apple Store and for security purposes. Do you think that would like make them feel some type of way or dislike our product? No, it won't make them dislike our product at all. I mean, they're Apple fans, especially the hardcore die-hard Apple fans. Oh, they're most certainly going to pay for our product no matter what we have. No matter what, they're going to pay for it. Ah, very interesting. Let's do that instead, guys. Let's do that instead, okay? Yeah. I feel like that's kind of how the conversation went. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like Apple. I mean, me personally, I used to have an Apple. I had the iPhone 4S and the 6. Those were my only iPhone that I had. After the 6, I was just like, no. I like freedom. Got the Android. I'm actually recording this video off of the Google Pixel. So, the camera, there's a lot of specs for the camera. They both have ×2 optical zoom, HDR for all photos and all videos, which is really good. HDR is really good. I'm not really a techie guy, like I'm not full-fledged there, but I'm learning my way. I'm learning my way through it slowly. Video recordings come in 4K format, and the FPS can run at 24, 30, and 60 FPS. They have a slow-mo feature that can support 1080p at 120 frames per second or 240 frames per second. Wow, I did not know that. Back to the Apple Pay. In order for you to actually start paying for stuff in your Apple Store and stuff like that, you don't use the fingerprint because, you know, there's obviously no fingerprint scan. The entire home button is gone. XS and the XsMax are basically upgrades of the iPhone X with a bigger screen display and a couple of more features dealing with the camera and stuff like that. But like I was saying before, you have to have Face ID in order to buy everything from the Apple Store and all security purposes. Basically, anything that has to do with security, you have to have Face ID for it on the iPhone XS and the XsMax. The notch is still there. They haven't moved over to the USB-C type connector yet. I would think that they would have did that since the Mac Pro actually charges off of a USB-C type. They're still rocking the Lightning 3.0 cable for their phones. Apparently USB-C has fast charging, but I mean, it's Apple, they do what they want to do.
Hey Apple,
No! They have a built-in microphone at the bottom of the phone. They actually didn't release any like milliamp usage for the iPhone X, like how long the battery will actually last. They just saying that it will last 30 minutes longer than the iPhone X. They saying that you can get your phone from 0 to 50% in 30 minutes from fast charging, which is kind of cool. I mean, that's cool. The iPhone XS has wireless charging. Oh my goodness. I'm a big fan of wireless charging. It doesn't have a headphone jack. You know, you still have to get that little adapter in order to get the headphone jack still in. Yeah, that's really it for the iPhone XS and the iPhone XsMax. Now let's run over to the iPhone XR. These iPhone X's are the same as the iPhone 5. iPhone 5 came out and then they had the 5C and they had the 5S. Kind of the same thing with this. They have the iPhone XS, the iPhone XX, the XsMax, and they have the iPhone XR. The S Max is kind of like that more techie upgraded side. The XR is more of like the color schemed ones. They have the different colors in either blue, white, black, yellow, coral, red. So it's kind of, if you really think about it, it's kind of like the iPhone 5C. The screen is actually a 6.1. Cameras are the same except for the XS. You don't have a dual system camera. There's only one lens on the back. Fingerprint scan on the XS is gone. If you want this new phone, you're gonna have to go with the face recognition. They actually all come with wireless charging, which the iPhone XR, it comes in a 64 gig, the 128 gig, and a 256 gig. The iPhone XR doesn't have an HDR display. 3D Touch isn't on the iPhone XR, but it is on the other two iPhones that I mentioned before. 2.98 inches width-wise, 5.94 inches height-wise. It doesn't have optical zoom, 2x optical zoom, so I'm guessing that you can't zoom in on there and have like a clear picture. You have portrait lighting on all devices, but you're only limited to 3 different types of it with the XR. Video recording wise, all of the phones are the same. And yeah, that's really all for the specs. Now we go on to the price of this.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Now, the XS is charging for $759. Now, for the lowest rating for the iPhone XS, the out-of-the-box retail price for 64 gigs is $1,000. No! You know what? I'm not even going to go for the rest of it. The XR actually comes, like the out-of-the-box retail price for the 64 gigabyte is $749. That is big. I'm not even going to try to front and say that that's cheap. Apple always has a big price range for their devices, which I don't mind. I just don't see like they're not really with the competition in my eyes, at least. Alright guys, that's it for the iPhone X. Now time for my personal opinions. My personal opinions, I'm not an iPhone person, as you heard from the beginning. I think these prices are overpriced a little bit. I mean, but then again, this is Apple. They've always been high priced with all their devices. I really don't know how much money it takes to actually make the device, so I'm guessing that will have to play a big factor in how much they price their product. I believe that they could have made it a little bit cheaper, especially for the XR, probably like $599 or something like that. I want to see them get low like the other devices that I see from Android, which is something that I really liked about Android. Their phones are really good and they're for a cheaper price than the iPhone. A modern person in my eyes wouldn't be like getting this phone for like their whole family or something like that. It's more of like if you big balling, I mean, then go ahead and grab that iPhone. Yeah, do I like it? I mean, video wise, yeah, I like it. I don't really know a lot about the tech. All the tech that I read off today came from their website themselves. So this is what they said, not what I just found on an article or anything like that. Video wise, yes, I like it. Would I get it? No. I'm more of the Google Pixel 3 fan. Once we get like a keynote on that, then I'll most certainly talk about that one in a video. But yeah, I don't like it. The iPhone XS and the Max and the R, it just isn't for me. Might be for you guys, but for me, no. I'm gonna rock Android, and I just love Android how they always been. But yeah, that's really it for this video.